Good evening and thank you for joining us. You're watching the 9 at Night. I'm Stephania Jimenez. And tonight we begin with the Uvalde CISD School Board, which is meeting for the first time since its superintendent announced his retirement and the entire school police department was suspended. Now, before that meeting, people rallied in support of Superintendent Hal Harrell. We spoke with several parents of the Robb Elementary victims who say that their intention was never for Harrell to retire. All they asked was that he hold people accountable. And now those families are feeling pain over the pushback from their community.
I'm kind of angry that there are more people just now, wanting to show up, and it was because the man who we didn't ask to is retiring. We fought for our son, and I would do it again.
Now, in a post on Facebook, Dr. Harrell's wife posted that message. It was from him saying, quote, "These next steps for our future are being taken after much reflection and is completely my choice," end quote. We're going to have a full recap of the meeting tonight on the Night Beat. Today, we're learning more about the teenager shot by an SAPD officer outside of a Northside McDonald's last week. That video was body camera footage. It shows Officer James Brennan shoot 17-year-old Eric Cantu multiple times. According to the police report, Brennan says that he was responding to a disturbance call at the McDonald's on Blanco when he thought that the car Cantu was in had been reported stolen. Before backup got there, Brennan opened Cantu's car door as Cantu and another teen were inside eating. And when Cantu's car started moving, that's when Brennan fired shots. Cantu was injured, and his friend, George Ramos, tells ABC that he's still in the hospital recovering.
The state and condition he's in right now is just, it breaks all of our hearts. Eric, great kid, man. He's the comedian of our group.
Ramos says that Cantu is a great baseball player and dreams of owning his own business. Police have dropped all charges against him. Now, in the meantime, SAPD fired Brennan, and it's unclear at this point if that officer or former officer is going to face charges. This was an especially tough day for the community at Our Lady of the Lake University. People there were saying goodbye to a student athlete who died in a crash this weekend. Today, we learned that Angelina Martinez was one of two people killed in a head-on crash around 3:20 Sunday morning. And according to a preliminary police report, someone driving a blue Mitsubishi Lancer was driving the wrong way on Wurzbach Parkway near 281 and crashed into a yellow Camaro. Now, it's unclear at this point which car Martinez was in, but she and the other driver were pronounced dead on the scene. And today, at Our Lady of the Lake University, students and staff gathered for a prayer vigil honoring this senior volleyball player.
The program, the girls are just devastated, and of course, as a coach, your student athletes become like your kids, and you always worry about something like this happening, and this weekend it became a reality.
Yeah, we're still waiting to learn the name of the other driver. The medical examiner tells us she was 22 years old. A mother charged with her daughter's death 5 years ago finally going to trial. Opening statements began today in Jessica Briones' trial. Briones is facing a murder charge for the death of 4-year-old Olivia Briones. Back in September of 2017, she showed up to the police station on Prue Road with her daughter, who was unresponsive. And a day later, the 4-year-old died, and doctors say she had multiple injuries, including a head injury that they say caused her death. Because of the pandemic, that trial has been reset several times these last few years. Tomorrow marks 6 years since Angelo Polendo's murder, and San Antonio police and Crime Stoppers are still looking for the person responsible. The 37-year-old was killed October 11th of 2016, and that day, people in the area heard gunshots and they saw a gray-colored vehicle speeding off. Polendo's body was found down the street at an intersection of North Sabina Street and Lombrano Street, but police at this point, they don't have leads. So if you know anything about what happened, call 210-224-STOP, because if you have any information that leads to an arrest, you could get a $5,000 reward. San Antonio police and Crime Stoppers also need your help for this story I'm going to tell you about. They're looking for the person responsible for a hit and run on the west side. That crash happened in the 6100 block of Enrique M. Barrera Parkway at the end of September. Police say the man that you're looking at to the left of your screen is 51-year-old Henry Arizola, who was killed while riding his bicycle. If you know anything about this, call Crime Stoppers. That number, 210-224-STOP. Have you registered? Because you have until tomorrow to register to vote in the November midterm elections. This election year is a really important one. All 435 seats in the U.S. House of Representatives are up, as they are every 2 years, and so are a third of Senate seats. Early voting starts October 24th, and if you want a mail-in ballot, you have until October 28th to apply for that, and then Election Day is November 8th, so we've got a few important dates there. Now, the other big races on the ballot are for governor, district attorney, and county judge. This is going to be the first time in more than 20 years that county judge seat is up for grabs. Right now on KSAT.com, you're taking your questions for the candidates in both of these races. And as Election Day gets closer, we're going to get those questions answered for you and posted online. Also on KSAT.com is help finding out if you're registered to vote or details on how to get registered by tomorrow's deadline. You see that QR code to your right? Just scan it on your screen. It's right there, and it'll take you to our website. You'll also find everything that you need to know before you show up to the polls. So now we're going to take things outside. Here's meteorologist Sarah Spivey with your forecast.
Well, good evening. It's back to school tomorrow for a lot of kids. So bus stop forecast early, you'll be at 65 degrees. Pretty pleasant in the morning. Some cumulus clouds out there, warm but pleasantly low humidity. Now, coming up on the night beat, we're going to talk about a few things. Again, tomorrow, a ditto day. All right, very similar to today. Heating up this week will be warmer than average. Even some days will be in the 90s. And it's all about the humidity. We're going to have dew points go up and down, all because of a series of fronts. And finally, we're going to talk about the potential for some rain finally in San Antonio. All of those details coming up on the night beat.
Now let's talk gas prices. You have definitely noticed that they're up. Here in San Antonio, they rose about 14 cents this past week. According to Gas Buddy, a gallon is now averaging $3.15, and that's 34 cents higher than it was at this time last year. But here's some perspective. We're still lower than the state and also national average, because right now the Texas average is at about $3.24 a gallon, and the national average is a lot higher. It's at about $3.92 a gallon. That increase comes after OPEC plus oil ministers agreed to cut production by 2 million barrels a day. So retailers paying more for shipping are passing the costs on to all of us. Celebration and remembrance, that is what today's holiday is all about for those honoring Indigenous Peoples Day. Today, dozens of organizations from around the country came together at San Antonio College to spread awareness about the importance of the holiday. People there learned about Indigenous traditions like songs and dances. Frankie Orona says that events like this are crucial for college campuses and also the community.
Here's a place for them to learn some truth of the original people of the land, things that they don't learn in public schools, and that we're here today, and we've always been here, and you know, that we're a proud people that have a very rich culture and that loves to share.
Today's event was also part of SAC's month-long events celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month. Now, before we go, we want you to look at that beast. It's a real thing, and it could be yours for just, 25 million euros or 24.2 million bucks. Yeah. That's the starting price of the latest concept from submarine builder U-Boat Works. It's a transforming submersible yacht, because why not, right? Now, you can call it a super yacht. It can dive to depths of 650 feet, and it can stay underwater for days at a time. And as an added bonus, if the sea becomes too rough, U-Boat's founder says that you can simply dive and continue your journey comfortably, so there's no seasickness that you got to worry about. You just have to find those 25 million bucks. Right. All right, we're out of time. The 9 at 9 returns tomorrow. Have a lovely night.